You'll have to excuse me, I'm not very comfortable behind lecterns. If I pace up and down here, it's also because there's so many people in here tonight I need to speak to. So, my name's Chris Law, I'm here from Dundee, and I've been travelling for the last 2.5 weeks with my small crew, with a small crew in a very big truck. And you might ask, well, what's the big truck about? So I've been involved in this campaign as, first of all, somebody probably like yourself, who's on a journey trying to find out more information, and as you find out more information, develop your debate, your argument, discussions with friends and family, and from there you go forward and you start to talk to others out with your family, to your neighbours, to your colleagues. You might have joined a yes group, or you might have joined a no group. I don't know where you're at the moment, or you might still be a don't know. For me, I'm a business person from Dundee. I've been in a range of businesses, but currently financial services. But I've also run motorcycle expeditions up the Himalayas and been a documentary filmmaker, so I've had a varied life. I came to this situation we're in now, which I'm just about to tell you about with the Spirit of Independence, really through wanting to engage for probably the first time in my life in Scottish politics. Now, I studied politics when I was younger, but it was always felt a bit removed from me. It was about other people governing society. It was about other decisions being made elsewhere. So although I took a great interest, I found myself still feeling a little bit like an outsider. What's happened for me in the last 3 years is I've become an insider, and that's quite exciting. In fact, I'm part of one of the biggest families I've ever been in. And over that time, I've looked at all the different organisations, and there are many, been involved in the campaign on the yes side. I think we know who's involved in the no side. And by no ways is it black and white. The Spirit of Independence is a national campaign that I set up personally earlier this year, really out of compulsion more than anything else. I set it up because what I saw across the whole range of organisations was one thing in common for Scotland for the future if you vote yes. The measure of a good society is a society that of course allows for entrepreneurship, for opportunity and for prosperity. That's important. But that has to be for all of us. So the measure of a good society is one that looks after its sick, its most vulnerable, and its poor. And what I've seen in the last 3 years during this debate is a war on the poor, an attack on the disabled, and standard of living going down as each passing month goes by. So I found myself in a situation by January this year that I'd not only in the last 2 years joined a political party, the SNP I have to say, I'm very proud to be a member of, but I've also been a member of Labour in the past. But I also went and joined Business for Scotland. Business for Scotland have got 2,500 members that are within it. And they're all people from large to medium to small organisations who are running their own businesses and see the potential for Scottish society and for Scotland as a whole. I also been out canvassing with Radical Independents, who, if any of you have been here out with them already, they don't necessarily share the same views as the SNP. So I found myself a little bit both outside and inside because I wanted to see what the different organisations were. So here was the plan. The Spirit of Independence was to carry the whole damn lot. And I found we've got 19 different organisations of campaign material within our fire engine. Now you might wonder why we've got a fire engine. Truth is, I bought it drunk one night about 2 years ago. However, the thing about this particular vehicle is I wanted a vehicle that was to inspire. That you can imagine something that's above and beyond just the head debate, something that made you feel emotionally good. This should be a good time for all of us. All of us sitting here, can you imagine being in a hall of nearly 500-600 people talking politics 3 years ago? Virtually impossible. And I've been invited, not as a politician, but I have to tell you guys, I've been invited as a special guest. Get that. So we've been on the road. This is a Grassroots campaign. It's a national campaign. It's for 40 days and 40 nights. And believe me, it was biblical our first day because it rained all day and all night as we travelled. We've been interviewing Grassroots supporters. We've been interviewing people like Brian Cox, who is a Labour Party member, Dennis Canavan. We've been interviewing members of SNP, Caroline Leckie, believe it or not. I'm going to hopefully interview you soon. You don't know that, Jim, I've already asked you, so you're also in trouble. And we're making short films as we travel. We're carrying in the heart of the fire engine, like I say, 17 or 18 different organisations of material. So it's not all about the white paper or the SNP vision. There's Labour for Independence, there's Women for Independence, there's In Place of Fear too, is that right, Jim? There is English Scots for yes, I've got Africans for yes, I've got Scottish Asians for independence, I've got, oh, here we go. I've got so much material, I haven't managed to read all of it yet, but believe me, I know an awful lot more than I did a few years ago. And we're travelling around Scotland just now on a 3,000-mile quest. And what I have learned is this. We've been from Skye, right across the northeast, right down through Aberdeenshire, Angus, Tayside. We've been over at Faslane interviewing about, you know, the changes going on there and the excitement there for getting rid of nuclear weapons. We've been down to Dumfries, and here we are in Dunoon. The fire engine itself is not just about getting drunk and having a bit of fun. Actually, it's got a very serious message. It was built in a time of fear. It was actually built to protect you, believe this or not, to protect you in the event of a nuclear strike. Now, I know how fast that drives, and it's not going to get anywhere fast. It does a top speed about 45 miles an hour, and believe me, it's hot and noisy as well. It was built actually to carry water and to pump it to an area being affected by a nuclear bomb. So it was a perfect thing for transformation into a project for hope. So I'll round up by saying this. What I have learned from all of these organisations and why I'm so compelled to be here tonight, I've closed my business. All the money for this, what we're doing was raised from literally all of us here, grassroots supporters. It didn't come from big business. It didn't come from a multi-millionaire with a big check coming in. It came from ordinary people. I consider myself an ordinary person. I'm on the road for the next 2.5, 3 weeks, and during that time we'll continue to speak to the different yes groups. But I'd say vote aye. Vote aye for imagination. Vote aye for your own integrity. Vote aye for the ideals and ideas that are coming out of this campaign. Nationalism we hear a lot about, but let me tell you this, I'm a new nationalist. I'm a nationalist based on the fact that we're building a society based on values. Values about what a good society is. So when you go home tonight, think about what you've got for the next 3 weeks if you don't know. If you're a yes voter and you haven't canvassed yet, get out there, find out who your local groups are. I've seen so much commitment through the various groups on the ground, and so much support. It makes me feel like a big family. And we can show the rest of the UK how to be a big family too by the things that we do in an independent Scotland. So thank you very much for your time.
We're going to ask the people, is independence best? I'm thinking Bonnie Scotland, that the answer could be yes.